What if I told you that the best performing stock in the S&P 500 this year isn't Apple, Microsoft, or even Nvidia, but a company so secretive that the average person has never heard of it, and those who have don't even really know what they actually do. 134% returns year to date in 2025, and since going public in 2020, the stock has gained 1,593%. That is Palantir Technologies, a company that's simultaneously powering America's most classified operations and helping hospitals save lives, all while being called the most dangerous company in the United States. This is the story of how a CIA-funded startup that every major VC rejected became a $100 billion empire that governments can't live without. It's a story about the uncomfortable truth that in our data-driven world, controversy doesn't kill companies, a lack of customers does, and Palantir has never had a problem finding customers willing to pay. While most tech companies are competing for your attention, Palantir operates in a different way, building software for organizations that absolutely cannot afford to fail. We're talking about groups that are preventing terrorist attacks, tracking down human traffickers, or optimizing military operations. However, the same capabilities that make Palantir essential to national security are exactly why the reasons this company gets so much scrutiny. The company's technology sits at the intersection of every major ethical debate about things like surveillance and AI, and yet they keep winning.
I've been cautioned to be a little modest about our bombastic numbers.
Revenue up 48% year over year, over $1 billion quarterly, and customer retention of 98%. And when Fortune 500 companies and government agencies describe your product as the backbone of their operations, you've built something quite unique in the tech world. So, how did Palantir even get here? September 11th, 2001. One of the deadliest terrorist attacks in human history exposed a significant weakness in US intelligence. Agencies had the data, but they couldn't connect the dots, and information sat in isolated databases, becoming useless. And 2 years later, Peter Thiel saw an opportunity in this. Thiel had just sold PayPal to eBay for $1.5 billion, but he couldn't stop thinking about something they'd built called Igor. Igor was quite the technology. It could analyze thousands of transactions, identify suspicious patterns, and connect seemingly unrelated accounts. It was pattern recognition at scale. And then he started to think, if these algorithms could catch financial criminals, why couldn't they catch terrorists as well? Thiel then met his co-founder, Alex Karp, at Stanford, someone with zero technical background and had quite opposing political views to Thiel. Together, they would create software that could reduce terrorism while preserving civil liberties. They named it after Tolkien's Palantir, the seeing stones that allowed people to see across great distances. But at the beginning, the team struggled to get any investors or customers. Thiel had to personally invest $30 million of his own money just to get started. That's until the CIA came calling. To put it simply, Palantir is a software company that builds data analytics tools primarily for government, military, healthcare, and large organizations. And this tool they create helps those organizations gain actionable insights from their large set of data. What Palantir does is make all this data think together. The secret is something called the ontology, essentially a semantic layer that creates a digital twin of your organization's operations. This isn't just simply as connecting databases, it's teaching the system what your data means in the context of the real world. But here's the crucial part. The system also learns. Every decision feeds back into the platform. When a defense contractor uses Palantir to optimize the aircraft maintenance, the system doesn't just track what happened, it learns from what happened, which improves predictions for similar situations in the future. When a hospital uses it for patient care coordination, every outcome teaches the system how to coordinate better for the next patient. This is what's known as the data flywheel effect. The more you use it, the smarter it gets, the more valuable it becomes, and the harder it becomes to leave the product. This philosophy manifests in their three core platforms. Gotham, it handles the classified world. Defense and intelligence operations. It's been used to map terrorist networks, detect cyber attacks, and support battlefield intelligence. Recent Pentagon demonstrations even showed AI-powered targeting systems that reduced targeting processes from 6 hours to just 10 seconds. Foundry. This tackles commercial operations. Companies like BP report $1 billion in operational savings. General Mills achieved $14 million in annual savings. It handles everything from supply chain optimization to predictive maintenance. AIP, the artificial intelligence platform, which safely deploys large language models on private data. Unlike pure AI platforms, AIP connects artificial intelligence directly to operational decisions through human-AI collaboration workflows. We could easily just be very impressed by what these tools are able to do, but it gets to a certain point where you start asking about how good can these tools actually get. Let's talk about why Palantir has become absolutely essential to America's defense operations. Modern warfare isn't about who has the most tanks, it's about who can process information faster. A single military operation generates terabytes of data. Traditional military contracts deliver systems that work in isolation, but no one was building the nervous system that connects everything together. That is what Palantir does. It creates a unified operational picture from data chaos. When special forces raid a terrorist compound, Palantir integrates real-time intelligence from satellites, drones, human sources, and communication intercepts into a single interface that commanders can actually use to make split-second decisions. When the Army signs a $10 billion enterprise agreement with Palantir, they're not just buying software, they're buying institutional knowledge. Hundreds of forward-deployed engineers who understand military operations, workflows that took years to develop, and data integrations that connect thousands of systems. Switching away from Palantir would mean rebuilding entire operational infrastructures from scratch, and in national security, that is not a risk you can take. But this dependency goes beyond just sticky technology. Palantir has created what might be the most comprehensive competitive moat in enterprise software history, so let's take a look at them. Every person looking to invest into a company looks for a moat, competitive advantages that protect a business. Most companies have one or maybe two. Palantir has 4, and they all reinforce each other. The maturity moat, the ontology framework that competitors struggle to replicate. And even if they can, creating a semantic layer that maps organizational data to real-world concepts requires years of specialized expertise and deep customer collaboration, and Palantir is years ahead of any company in this. The security clearance moat. Palantir has DISA Impact Level 6 accreditation. This is basically a cloud environment that has been formally approved to handle classified Department of Defense workloads up to the secret level, meeting the strictest Department of Defense cloud security requirements. Only a few companies have this, including AWS, Oracle, and Microsoft. This creates a huge impact for Palantir, basically allowing them to be the primary military contract. The data flywheel effect moat. Each usage enhances the platform's intelligence. AI models and workflows developed are constantly learning and getting better day by day. And in addition, one client's usage can be repurposed for others, creating feedback loops that compound drastically. Once organizations integrate their core operational data into Palantir's platform, and the more the platform learns about their organization, switching becomes increasingly complex and risky. The mission-first moat. While Silicon Valley chased consumer apps and easy money, Palantir took the contrarian bet of solving the government's hardest and most sensitive problems. When competitors avoided controversial work, Palantir leaned in, building relationships and capabilities in markets others wouldn't dare to touch, like war. When Google withdraws from military contracts due to employee protests, Palantir steps in and captures billion-dollar programs. Their willingness to do the unpopular but essential work has become one of their most defensible advantages. These moats don't just protect Palantir, they create a compounding advantage where each element strengthens the other. But here is the uncomfortable truth. At the heart of Palantir's success is that the same capabilities that make privacy advocates furious are exactly what makes the company indispensable. For example, immigration enforcement through ICE contracts. Internal documents show Palantir was mission critical for targeting immigrant families, leading to 443 arrests of parents of unaccompanied children in 2017. The 2019 Mississippi raids that resulted in 680 arrests relied heavily on Palantir technology as well. Then there's military applications. When Google withdrew from Project Maven due to employee protests, Palantir assumed the $99 million drone surveillance contract. The Maven Smart system now analyzes drone footage across NATO and multiple US military commands. Over 200 Palantir employees have signed protest letters. 13 former employees publicly condemned the work in 2025 as well. Here is the paradox. Every controversy strengthens Palantir's position. When competitors refuse military contracts, Palantir captures the entire defense market. When other companies avoid surveillance work, Palantir becomes the only option for intelligence agencies. Government agencies trust Palantir precisely because it can handle the most sensitive, controversial applications that others won't touch. This is Peter Thiel's contrarian philosophy in action. Competition is for losers.
What competition does is it does make you better at whatever you are competing on, but it always comes at the price of losing sight of things that are perhaps more important or more valuable.
So we return to our original question. How does the world's most controversial company keep winning? The answer is surprisingly straightforward. Palantir wins because the most powerful people and organizations in the world are going to pay Palantir because they are choosing to solve their highly stressful and highly controversial problems, and no one else is willing to do so at the rate at which Palantir is doing it. While activists protest and employees resign, defense agencies still need intelligence platforms. Hospitals still need data coordination. Manufacturers still need supply chain optimization. And when these organizations evaluate vendors, they don't check Twitter sentiment. They check technical capabilities, security clearances, and operational results. Palantir delivers it all. They've solved a fundamental business equation, built technology that powerful organizations actually need, price it competitively, and deliver results consistently. Everything else is just noise.